Hello and happy Wisdom Wednesday. Thank you so much for tuning in and for choosing to spend some of your time with me. It's your girl Maria Milagros here, and this is Wisdom Wednesday. Wisdom with a Z, just like the Wizard of Oz. They showed up and they was like, I need courage. And the Wiz was like, you already have courage, but here's a trinket to remind you. Basically, that's what I'm doing here, because everything that you need to live your best life already exists inside of you. And a lot of us have been operating off of this old program where we've been told that we're not smart enough or capable enough or intelligent enough or creative enough or resourceful enough or whatever enough, which is a lie. Because you wouldn't be here if those things were true, right? And so my job, I feel like as a coach, as even when I do these videos, as a speaker, as an author, is to remind you of how amazing you are so we can unpack those things, bring those amazing things about you to the forefront so that you can live your best life, because you only have the one, right? And you're the only one of you, so you might as well live it like, hey, like you would. Okay, so this month, during the month of May, we're talking about how to get more excited about our lives and how to find ways to bring excitement into our lives. The first video, I gave you 3 tips about things that you should do in order to get yourself to a place where you just meet new people, you travel more, you do more, so that you're interacting, you're engaging with your life, and that makes you feel excited. The second video, I talked about 3 things, maybe it was 3 or 4 things that I do in the mornings in order to set myself up for the day so that each day feels exciting. Okay, so today, speaking of days, I want to talk about the idea of someday. So there's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but there's no someday on the calendar. And yet, I used to do this myself too. I used to be guilty of this. I always used to say, someday I'm going to go to Europe. Someday I'm going to skydive. Someday I'm going, someday. And a lot of people do someday because they're waiting for that perfect partner to come along to do it with them. Or they're waiting for finances to become so abundant that they don't have to think about it. Or they're waiting for that perfect job, or they're waiting, whatever the case is. But again, someday is not on the calendar. That's not a day. So we have to start being more intentional about living right now and stop using the conditions of our lives as excuses to not fully live and to not fully get excited about our lives. Now, I'm not just talking just to talk, right? A couple of years ago, my daughter and I had talked about going to France, and especially going to Paris, and she wanted to see the Eiffel Tower. She was obsessed with the Eiffel Tower. She wanted to see the Eiffel Tower, and I said, someday we'll go. I kept saying that, someday. And then one day I heard myself say someday, and I went, ew, I'm going to make it happen, right? And so I went down to the bank and I created a little savings account, and I said, I want to call the savings account Paris. And the women at the bank were so excited with me. I said, I'm going to just start saving up money, me and my daughter, and every time we have a little extra money, I'm going to drop it in here. We are going to Paris. I'm going to make this happen. So eventually, it took 2 years of saving up money, you know, where every time I didn't get my nails done, I didn't go out to eat as much. Not that we go out to eat much anyways, but I took all that extra money and dropped it in the account, And so I remember one time I said to my daughter, oh, I have some extra money, let's go out to eat. And she goes, no, Mom, let's have grilled cheese at home and put that in Paris. And I'm like, yes, girl, let's put it in Paris, right? So I got my daughter involved, and then I had a really small, and I mean small, group of people who knew that this was something that I was doing, because we have to also be aware that there are naysayers in our lives, be it friends or family, and I'm doing air quotes because you would think that if they're your friends or family that they're going to be supportive of you and they want to see you be happy, but not everybody's like that. So I kept it really quiet, and I kept it in a small group, and we were all really excited about it, and a little bit extra money here and there. And like, I remember my daughter that year for her birthday, she told her dad and like some people on that side of the family, and they were like so excited for her, so they all gave her extra money for her birthday. And then when she came home, she's like, I want to put this in the Paris account. Like, we made it a thing, and we were so excited about it. And then we ended up going to France for 12 days. I rented an Airbnb. We were in France. It was amazing. The whole thing was amazing. The savings account, the saving up money, the having the adventure in between, and then the actual going on the trip. And then it was like, okay, if I can make that happen, we could do that again. So we went to France, and then the last year we went to England, and this year we're going to take another trip. And so we just have to stop waiting for someday. Someday is now. It's right now if you want it to be. Otherwise, stop complaining because you're choosing to not make someday now. That's the real of the real of the real. And that's what I had to say to myself before I even started planning this trip. Like, Maria, stop complaining about the fact that you don't travel the way you want to. It's you stopping you with all your excuses about why you can't go. I'm a single mom. I just started a business, blah, 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 right? We get to decide. So this is what I have for you for this upcoming week. To get more excited about your life, I want you to think about something that you keep saying someday, right? I want you to declare it. I want you to declare it and decide and say it out loud to one person, to a few people, to the people that you know and trust who aren't going to do the whole like, why are you doing that? That's stupid. Or why are you doing that? You can't afford that. Like, don't talk to those people. Run from those people. Those people are operating from a space where they don't think that they deserve it or they can do it for themselves. So the only thing that they can give you is what they have. They're operating from their filters. No judgment. Like, that's who they are. But don't interact with them. Okay? They're gonna mess up the flow of the challenge. Avoid those people. So I want you to make a declaration first and foremost. Be intentional. Be intentional about deciding, okay, by this date, I'm gonna do this thing. Right? And then at the same time, you have to kind of be a little flexible because it might not always happen exactly at that moment, but it can happen within that time frame, sometimes sooner, sometimes a little bit later, but around that time frame, right? So you want to be intentional about making a decision about what it is that you want. What have you been putting off for someday? And then you're going to actually have to start planning. You're going to create all these little micro steps that you have to do. So for instance, when we were going on our trip, it was open a savings account, put money in every week. Sometimes it was $3, y'all. Sometimes it was $100. It depended on what was happening. But every week, put money away, and then get excited about it, right? Change your narrative and say, this is exciting. I'm planning for this trip to France with my daughter. Like, this is exciting. I'm planning on going skydiving and jumping out of a plane. This is exciting. I'm going back to school and I'm doing this to better myself, to better my family, to better the world, right? This is exciting. I'm going to start this workout program. This is exciting. I got a personal trainer. This is exciting. I'm going to do this 30-day eating clean thing. This is exciting. You get to decide how exciting it is or not. You do. So the challenge for this week is to figure out what that thing is for someday, to start creating your action plan, and then to start chipping away at it. You have to take action every day, every week, whatever it is, and then talk it up, right? If you have a journal, I always recommend that you write it up. Like, this is so exciting. I'm starting this new adventure. I decided to take on this challenge. This thing that I said someday is going to happen on this day. Like, here's the actual day that it's going to happen. And I'm taking steps today to make sure that that happens, right? Because then, again, we're adding more. We're being intentional. We're taking responsibility. We're owning our life story. We're operating from a place of love and gratitude towards ourselves, situations, events, the things that are happening around us. We're not using our excuses. We're living in super sparkly everything. And it doesn't have to be when you win the lotto, when you meet that husband, when you get that perfect job. No, it can start right now. Someday is today if you decide it to be so. Someday is today if you decide it to be so. Otherwise, your someday may never come. And the only person who has the onus of that is you. So that's what I have for you this week. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you know someone who can benefit from it, share it, because sharing is caring. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. I'm going to put the little thingy down here somewhere. And I will post the videos up here somewhere from last week and the week before to help you get more excited about your life. If you have any questions or anything, or if you want to say it out loud so that someone holds you accountable, or at least not to necessarily hold you accountable, but to put it out there in the universe. This was my someday, and this is what I'm going to start doing to make it happen. Email me. For real. I'll be your person. I'll be like your rah person over here. Like, yes, go you. Go you. You can do it some days now. All right. So that's all I have for you. I love you so much. I hope you have a great rest of your week, a fantastic weekend. And I hope that you decide to start fully living and getting excited about your life. Change your narrative. Own your story. Take responsibility and love yourself. Peace.